Expect the unexpected, right?
Super,
Well,
Chris.
excellent. Hello, and welcome to another episode of Industrial Amputation, where you can always expect the unexpected. Today, Joey, Levi, and I have the absolute pleasure of welcoming a true juggernaut. Some say the hardest, wink, wink, working man in the business, in EDM, electropunk, and the industrial scenes. All the way from Denmark, the driving force of Leatherstrip, Kloot, a member of AM Tier Park, and Gusten, my friend, Mr. Claus Larsen. Klaus, thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to be here today.
You're
Hello.
very welcome. Yeah, it's a pleasure. Thank you.
Awesome.
Right.
So we're gonna jump right in then, yeah?
Yeah.
Go
Good.
ahead.
Awesome. Leatherstrip is a huge inspiration to so many of today's younger acts. Let's kick this off with reminiscing about the early days before German label Sotho Mag had the good sense to sign you in '89. Can you tell us what a wee Klaus was up to as far as writing and performing, and how that led to you being noticed by Talia and Andreas of By God 20?
Yeah, I was uh, working with another band, and it just didn't work out. And they weren't as passionate as I was. So just okay, I can do this for myself. And then I bought most of the equipment we used anyway, so I just picked it up from the rehearsing room and set up the studio back home. And then I said, okay. And then I just started. I just found a name, Leatherstrip, and then made 8 songs. I had no plans of what genre or style or whatever. I just did it. Just
Yeah.
whatever comes out, comes out. And then back then it was cassette tapes. And
Real
then
well.
I had a friend do like some artwork for me, and I knew from I had some addresses from my records. I had um, Played Against Sam record from the Belgian label,
Yeah.
and I had Robotico Rejecto 12-inch released by a label called Music Research. I had no idea who they were. I said, okay, this sounds a bit, that's over in my genre. So let's send, and I
Yeah.
sent 2 tapes out and I got 2 yeses. They both wanted me.
Oh,
So I
wow.
was like, I didn't expect that at all because I was not a part of that scene. I barely knew most of the bands in the scene back then. Um,
Yeah.
but I guess I had a sound that was fresh. So they didn't really discover me. I discovered them.
Oh, right on.
So,
You did
so they had
that.
That's
no idea who
awesome,
the
man.
fuck I was. And yeah, I just looked at numbers really because I had no experience with smaller label. We were working with a big label, the other band. So and they were like trying to, the whole 80s label thing. You have to wear this, you have to do that, you have to get a rapper and shit.
Yeah.
So nah, that's not how I work.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I was lucky. I guess I had a sound that was fresh. And the first single, Japanese Bodies, was a big hit in Germany,
Yeah.
and it spread quickly to America too.
Mhm.
Then the first album
Yeah.
came out a few months later, and I never looked back. Really,
Wow.
I was thrown to the lions like right away. They wanted a tour. I never played live show before in my life, so I was just
Wow.
thrown on. The first mini tour was 3 gigs in Germany, Hamburg, Frankfurt, and Dresden. Completely sold out, 600 people at each show, and I've never played a show before ever. So that was scary. I still remember
Yeah.
clearly. It was well. That's just yeah. I guess
How
that's
old were you at that
yeah.
time?
I was 22
You're like
ish.
yeah, your early 20s, yeah.
Yeah. So and then I worked. I re-recorded those demos and at their studio for that first album and the single. And then I
Mm.
decided I didn't want to work in the studio again. I don't like that pressure, time pressure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I just from the money I got from that, I built up so I could record at home always. And
Yeah.
I've never been in a studio since ever, really.
Oh,
So
Oh, wow.
yeah, and then Solitary Confinement was released, and it
yeah.
just blew up like crazy. I was living in a one-room apartment with a 4-track recorder and all my synths, and that album just exploded. And that album is still why I'm doing this, basically.
Yeah.
So
It's a wonderful
I
album.
guess I made the right decision because I know what I want to sound like.
Yeah.
I love working with other people, but not for Leatherstrip. Leatherstrip is just me, and it always has to be like that. So that's also why I have different projects, but because I love to work with others. But Leatherstrip, nobody touches it. Just me.
No, absolutely wonderful. So what live shows were you going to see then?
Oh, nobody really played here. I'm living in a part of Denmark where nobody really
Really goes there.
ever. So
Okay.
I wasn't a part of the scene. I went clubbing to dance, but it wasn't just your normal 80s synth stuff they played there. But I had no idea who Front Two for Two was, or I barely knew Skinny Puppy.
Mm.
And when I started out, but I went there, I think 88, 89. I went to Frontline Assembly, started touring around where I lived. So I went to them, and Split Second played here too.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that was in the early days. I actually walked in on in '86 by complete chance to a Skinny Puppy show, the first Skinny Puppy show in Copenhagen in '86.
Yeah, the Dig It Bigot
I
tour.
was there doing some work, and then I walked past that house, and there was all these punks outside. It wasn't EBM people or anything, or industrial people. It was
Yeah.
punks back then,
Mhm.
with big Robert Smith hair, and that those kind of punks, the black
Yeah.
ones.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Death Punk.
And it was like $10 to get in to see it. It's really
Yeah.
interesting. It looks interesting. I was
Yeah.
Skinny Puppy. That was like, what the fuck is this?
That's good.
That was my reaction too. Yeah. I was
Yeah.
like, I'm home.
Yeah, exactly. That's how I really felt. So
Yeah.
I immediately after that concert, it was like we had Black Celebration with Depeche Mode, and I discovered um, Skinny Puppy, and then I was doing more synth pop, and then I just changed the whole sound, just
Yeah.
changed automatically to darker sound.
Yeah. No, the Pleasure
If you hear,
Penetration
if you
stuff.
hear that if you know that my teenage demos, uh, there's a song called "Never Trust Anyone at the Carnival," and that was the kind of the first song where you can hear that darkness in what I was doing. So I guess that's was where it has like kind of a Leatherstrip sound-ish to it, the bass lines and stuff like that. But yeah, and yeah, and then more and more bands started coming to a city near where I lived, called Aarhus. It's a bigger city, like 1.5 million people or something, and they started booking some of the more well-known bands. So.
Right on.
But clubbing and stuff like that, no, not really until really I got signed, and it started, and then suddenly the eyes, because I had big success there in the beginning right away, and the eyes from Europe started to look, what the fuck is going on in Denmark? What's
Yeah.
this? And then some of my friends got signed. I helped some the Psychopomps. I helped them out. They had one synth, so they recorded all the songs in my studio, and I was producing them in the beginning. They got signed. Then there was a band in Copenhagen called Slubby Wrench Body. Had 2 albums out. Yeah, they were really hyped by MTV here in Europe. So they didn't want to play me because, oh, he's a Nazi. He's on a German label and he has hair like that. He's a Nazi.
Yeah.
So I was banned from MTV Europe. Yeah, really.
That's incredible.
Jeez.
Yeah. Back then, I couldn't. I was people were yelling. I had that flat top, and people were yelling at me on the streets and stuff like that. So nobody looked like that up here.
It was a hard
Nobody.
look, you know.
Yeah, it was. I'm a pussycat, so.
But but yeah, exactly. You are. Yeah, you're a great big monster pussycat. I love it.
Unless you step on somebody I love, then you'll see another
Then it's
Yeah,
story.
gone.
then the monster
Yeah.
does come out. Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
but me,
So
they can step all over me.
what was the first piece of gear you got? And do you still use it?
I still have it. It's a Moog Prodigy, and I still use it.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
it
Ooh,
was the first synth I
nice.
bought. Yeah, I went I went to a concert with a Swedish band called Twice a Man, and I completely fell in love with them. Then we're friends now, and that's pretty weird because they were like gods for me.
Yeah.
And it completely by chance. I walked into to buy some new. I was a little punky back then, so we had a little store in Aalborg, and where I wanted to get some new punky zebra striped pants.
Mm-hmm.
Mm,
And there was this little store, the tiny little store, and he had the cassette tapes selling them, and he was playing this Twice a Man album. And I said, what the hell is this? Oh, this is a Swedish band. They're playing tonight. So just completely by chance. And there at that concert, the guy opening for me, for them, um, was in a band called The Future, the synth pop band. And I knew him from somewhere. I couldn't place him. And then it turns out I went to trade school with him. And then
mm,
I talked to him after the show and said, "Hey, you come out and see my studio stuff like that." Oh, because I wanted to be like a graphic artist for bands to do album covers and
yeah.
you know design their look and stuff like that. That was my plan. I had never played an instrument in my life. And then I went to his house, and then he showed me that he had a Moog Prodigy, and I said, "Oh, it's for sale." I said, "Oh."
Wow.
And I bought it. And I bought it. Yeah, I can teach you some bass lines, and you can be in my band. We need a bass player, synth bass player. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Right on. I'm
Yeah.
so very happy that
That's
happened.
why I have the Fat Gadget tattoo,
Ah,
because
nice.
the first bass line he told me to learn was the Back to Nature bass line, and that's
Oh,
the writing
wow.
on that single. So that's the first one
Oh,
I taught, and then it came natural to me. 2 weeks after I bought that synth, I wrote my first song. So it was just like, oh, so this is what I'm
Yeah.
gonna do.
on.
Yeah.
And yeah, and I just try to learn chords, stuff like that. So it's all self-taught, everything.
Yeah.
So
Awesome.
so I, yeah, it was because music runs in my family. Really, my dad was a musician before I was born. So and my mom was very creative. Same with my brother and sister. So there was like 4 or 5 different styles of music playing in the house constantly. So I collected as a little 3, 4 year old. I bought small cassette tapes when they were like reduced in the
Mm-hmm.
stores. I,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't buy candy and stuff. I bought cassette tapes.
That's probably
Yeah.
a better use for your money for sure.
Yeah.
So,
So that was the kind of the way I was my course of life just changed. I knew exactly what I wanted to do. I took my education to please my parents, and then everything I did was moving towards a way where I could do this for a living.
Mm.
do it
I
well.
see.
Excellent.
I seen your shows, and you had the the visuals in the background and
Mm,
everything. And I watched a couple of them, and I said, "Oh wow, you're pretty intense. I like your stuff a lot, you know."
thank you.
And
I'm an old punk, so
yeah,
it has to
so
be fun.
yeah. And I was thinking, it's gotten bigger now. To me, seems like it's gotten bigger.
Yeah,
Seems like
it's
you
going.
would, yeah. It seems like you would incorporate I know it's cost efficient, but you would get an ensemble
Mm,
to give some visuals.
yeah, I know what you
Maybe
mean.
maybe like Lord Acid, they get people to do their songs, and then they get them to perform them.
Mm,
And when I saw that, I was like doing a sound check, and I was like, "Oh, these guys don't know what they're doing." They're not, really playing. Maybe a guitar player, and they show the
Yeah.
bass player and everything. But I was thinking, I saw your stage show is intense and it's strong, and it's been like that for years. And I'm saying, wow, what if you did have someone, an ensemble, just
Mm.
you know, and you know what you're doing, you know what you want, and I think I'm a good listener, and with our band, with Rurko, we just had a lot of people that listened, and that was easy to work with, you
Mm.
know, even though
Yeah.
even though we were musicians that were, you know, Buzz or Groovy would give us the idea of what's the show about, what we're doing, and we just did them,
Mm.
and it worked out good. It was a happy group of people. So it wasn't any kind of no one. We didn't care if someone was a profound musician or instrumentalist. We just
Mm.
wanted someone who have passion and have a feeling for what's being done, put across.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah,
It has to be about the passion.
Yeah.
Although,
yeah,
if it's too rehearsed, or you see that right away,
yeah,
and it's a turn off for me. I just want people. If I know for a fact,
uh,
I've been doing this for a long, long time. If I have fun up there, the fans will have fun.
yeah,
It's as plain and simple. And I love what I do. I love to perform. I love to see their smiling faces. I love to get their energy. That's the best
yeah,
thing about doing this. It's
yeah,
that energy, and you're buzzing afterwards, and you just want more of it.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, it's
If
better than
if if
drugs.
I if I'd had a budget to do
Uh,
to have in the beginning, I had two keyboard players with me, and
yeah,
that was cool.
yeah,
But I want to do this full time.
yeah,
Full time. I
yeah,
want. I don't.
yeah.
I haven't had a day job since '92. So,
People have to
and
go.
the reason why I can do this is because I keep costs down.
Yeah,
I would rather have 10 more shows a year than with a lower fee than only have a handful of shows. Uh,
yeah, yeah,
because
yeah.
that energy is what I need and to keep me
Mm,
going. So if I had a budget like Los Angeles, they have a
mm.
budget. So I would have more people on stage for sure.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. Well,
so
I can see
so
you.
just the fact that I would need to like right now America is booming for me. Uh,
Yeah,
been there the last after COVID, it just exploded again. Uh,
uh-huh.
especially in America. And if I would have had like two or three people with me on that the tour, I wouldn't be able to tour. That's how
Oh,
simple it is, really, because the cost would be, and
yeah,
I
yeah,
wouldn't have the time to do it because I would have to get a day job to
yeah,
support that. So
Yeah.
it's like a choice I took, especially after Kurt died. No, and it's like nobody takes Kurt's place.
Yeah.
yeah,
That's so that this is how it's gonna be, really.
Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
He was my keyboard player for since 2010. He just came up to me because he was a trained pianist and he
pianist.
could
Yeah.
play anything you told him. Like I just
Oh,
gave him the notes and he just played it.
you just play
So
them.
yeah, he
That's
wasn't a composer, but he could play the big
big.
concertos and all that stuff. And he was
Oh, okay.
amazing on the keyboard. Nobody really knew that, but and then he asked me one day, "Do you think you can find something for me to do on stage?" For sure, because he was a shy guy, so I was pretty surprised.
Yeah.
Well, we had a lot of fun.
Yeah.
He
I'm so
felt that
glad
energy.
yeah, that was fun. He wasn't the most animated keyboard player, but
Yeah,
I don't
yeah, yeah.
care.
He wasn't like a Rick Wakeman.
He no, he was no, nobody steals my thunder here.
Yeah, yeah. Word, word. No, that's what
No, we
I
had some
like. I like
amazing
that.
years, and he was a big part of it anyway, because
Yeah.
he
Yeah,
was always the first one to hear what I was doing. He was the one cooking for me while I was working in the studio,
yeah,
so he was a big part of it anyway. So it
Yeah.
just came natural. So,
yeah.
and I've
I
just
like.
decided
Yeah.
nobody takes his place. So,
Yeah.
Yeah,
No
I feel
doubt.
it.
Well, when you signed with Zoth Amag, you hit the ground running with a very successful Japanese body single, and
yeah,
it remains in your set list to this day. Your debut album, Pleasure of Penetration, in 1990, then you go to Solitary Confinement in 92, and then Underneath the Laughter in 93. It sets you up to major presence in dark dance clubs around the world and reach top sales in both the European and American electronic scene. What challenges did you face recording these classics, and do you have any fondest memories to share with us?
um, well, I don't really think how, it comes natural to me what type, and then the sound in the beginning was more clean, and then it just
Mhm.
became more dirty,
Mhm.
aggressive, and evil. Uh, and people seem
Evil.
to like that. Yeah, because I was miserable,
Uh-huh.
basically. I was one room apartment, shitty neighbors. Uh, Things just sucked,
Yeah,
but then the solitary confinement, just that was the major. Suddenly, oh, the first check, I bought a house with that check.
yeah,
Yeah.
I never dreamt in my life that I would be able to do that, from this music, because I knew it was
uh,
it was underground, and that's how I wanted to be. So you never know if it's
yeah,
gonna work anyway, because I was away from the scene. I wasn't part of it.
yeah,
Two or three times a year, I was in Germany for at the studio, and that's all I really saw. A few shows here and there. So I
uh,
guess I kind of got my own sound really back
Mhm.
then,
yeah,
and that got me in college radio in America. Really helped me
Yeah.
a lot.
No,
mm,
I think that's where I heard you
Yeah,
initially, KXP in
I
Seattle.
would get back then. You would get like the labels would send me playlists from some of the radio stations and the college radio,
Mhm.
yeah.
and I was really wow. I
Yeah.
want to go to college because they had some really good stuff on those lists,
They did,
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
that we don't have that here. College radio is not a thing
I
here.
know.
It's never been really
Well,
strange,
Oh,
but
actually, it was KCMU back when you were releasing that stuff. It's KXP
mm,
now, but it's worldwide now.
yeah.
They opened a satellite out in San Francisco, so that
Mm,
label's out in San Francisco now too,
mm,
and all over the world on streaming. So support your local radio, listener
yeah,
powered radio
it's a
all the
good way
time.
to get new
Yeah.
sounds in you never
Yep.
heard
yeah.
of.
I had a good friend. I became friends with a radio DJ for college radio, and
Mhm.
she said, "Come to my show, come." And I went to the show, and it was so much fun. You
Mm,
know, it was so much fun, and a lot of enthusiastic fans and calls. And that's when I took college radio serious, because any kind of format that has a game plan, college radio is one of the freest forms of artistic,
Yeah.
activity.
yeah.
But she was also hilarious, so a lot of people really came at her, and she was smart. She
Mm.
really was a honor
I
student.
don't. Yeah. I don't think I would be where I am today in America without these people.
Uh,
Uh, Also, all these people who, I mean, when I get shows in America, sometimes it's like in the middle of nowhere, but I would
mm,
rather play more shows and play these places, because
Yeah.
most bands have to go around them, sadly.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
also one of the reasons why I can do this, because it's just me. So
Yeah.
yeah,
I can do these smaller shows too,
yeah,
and spread it around, and it works, especially in America still. And people,
yeah,
you can't over here, you can't tour like you can in America anymore, sadly.
Mhm.
Most, even the big bands, only play Friday, Saturday.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and that's not very cost effective. So
Nah.
like when we
Yeah.
have the big festivals here, they book like Frontline or whoever, and then they come over and they do like 2 weeks of shows in smaller clubs too,
Yeah.
connected to that because
Yeah.
the festivals pay so much that they can afford to do these small shows. But touring in Europe is not like it was back in the 90s anymore, sadly. But getting back to the beginning, if I had some funny stories, I remember then I got signed, licensed by Cleopatra Records back then. And suddenly there was a budget for videos and stuff. So I got to go to America for the first time to shoot a video in the state of this sleazy hotel in Hollywood. That was when Hollywood was fun, like really sleazy.
Yeah, I've been
And I
around
was
some of
walking
those.
around like a stupid idiot. Like at night, I didn't know. I'm just a Dane. No,
Yeah.
nobody does anybody do anything here.
Yeah.
It's safe here, but nothing happened, so that's good. But
Yeah.
people told me, "Oh, you did that." Okay.
You went to that place? Gee.
So and then suddenly there was like a budget behind everything, and it's like shooting a video for No Rest for the Wicked, I think it was, and right in the middle of Hollywood, with the full crew and everything. That was mind blowing for me. I never
Wow.
thought that was ever going to happen. So
Huh.
yeah, so and we stayed. I remember we stayed at Tala, the owner of Music Research South Amok, rented Olivia Newton-John's house in Malibu.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
So we
Oh,
stayed
that's
at
a
this
crush
big
on her.
gated community in Malibu with on top of a mountain looking over the Pacific. And
Oh man.
Wow.
so
Wow.
that was
So
fun.
you shot a video in Olivia Newton-John's house?
No, we just stayed there,
No, you just
and then
stayed
we
there.
shot the video around the
The
LA
hotel.
River.
Oh,
No,
okay.
around LA River.
Yeah.
All the homeless. I remember I was like wrapped in stuff, and the homeless people were in the back alley cheering. They thought it was
Awesome.
some big rock star. Who the fuck is that? No, so I got to experience some fun stuff
Yeah.
back then. But after the big massive '92 tour, my back just gave up, and I couldn't really play live anymore. Yeah, because I
Wow.
was run over when I was 12, so I had like some
Oh.
injuries. And that tour, the 3-week tour, 1 day off, shitty routing. Like we had to
Oh,
drive
wow.
after the
You're
show, and
going
most
all over the place.
yeah, it was like Germany, that that way. Really bad routing, but and all sold out. It was amazing, but it just scared the shit out of me.
Mm.
Uh,
Damn.
I was, like I said, thrown into the lions den,
Yeah.
and it scared me, and my back was kind of not
It was-
liking it. So I
Yeah.
just focused. I kind of wished I just gave it one more chance, but because I would probably have been bigger now
Oh,
if I kept touring.
Yeah.
kept touring.
I should have done that, but
But
I
hey,
am now.
Hindsight.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
I think you're doing pretty good now.
Also because I met Kurt there in '94, and then I never thought that would happen either. So that also changed my whole perspective of things. He was very supportive, always, never questioned what I did. And same with John, my boyfriend. He never, both of them are really good at this. And I said, I have a weird kind of life, and they both accepted it without question. So I'm a lucky guy.
yeah, it's good to have
That
people
is
like that.
absolutely good to have a good
Right.
support system.
Oh yeah.
Serenade for the Dead remains my favorite instrumental album of the 90s, hands down.
Oh, thank you.
I remember being a depressed teenager during the winter months here in Austin, and this recording bringing me into like a beautiful, warm embrace, and it felt romantic in a way.
That that's also intended. Yeah, yeah, it is kind of romantic. I wanted to get into that soundtrack scene. I'm a big fan of soundtracks, collect
Me
them, and
too.
very inspired by them.
Yeah.
So I was reading a lot back then. So I was kind of in my head, oh, I can do like an album with where kind of do a soundtrack for the books I'm reading.
Hmm.
Uh, but the label weren't very happy with it. They wanted me
Yeah.
to. They wanted me to. Oh, you can't release that without changing your name, like doing as a side project. I said, no, no, no. This is a big part of Leatherstrip. That kind of music. So either you do it, or I find another label to do it, and then they did it. So, but I had to fight for it because and it's a lot of people, a lot of fans' favorite album of me. Even people who don't like, industrial EBM, they really like that album. And it was a
Oh,
challenge for me because again, I'm not musically trained, but so I learned so much to do this, like the big
yeah.
sound and the chords. Because when I play a chord, I don't know what the fuck it's called. It's just, oh, that sounds right.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm kind of that way
I
too.
don't read music or anything. It's just all in my head
Yeah.
all
Yeah.
the time.
Same with
Yeah.
me. Yeah.
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 Well,
Same.
I have to do it. It's my therapy. I have to do it. That's also why I'm so productive
Yeah.
because it's medicine for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dark clouds goes away. 2 hours in the studio, and I'm a happy camper again.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Oh, that's
Hmm.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I have chronic depression running my family. So and I saw what medicine, traditional medicine did to my sister, especially her. She was so creative, and it just stopped everything. So I'm never doing that.
Yeah.
So, but even as a kid, I had the same thing, and even as a kid, I knew what to do when the clouds came. I just had to be creative in some form or go fishing or anything.
Yeah.
That really that worked for me. So I need to have uh, ongoing projects going all the time, and I
Hmm.
want to do. I'm working on Serenade for the Dead Part 3 at the moment. Like when I have the feel for it, I just jump into it again. And I'm about 50% done with that. So,
Nice.
Hmm.
Awesome.
but I always have to work on something. If I
Something.
don't, I kind of get lost. Uh, so I have to work. That's also why I started on a Cure thing
Yeah.
because the cover songs really also help me when I'm not inspired to do my own stuff. I do
Yeah.
covers.
Yeah.
They were
You did
never
a good
meant
job.
they were never meant to be released. It was more like just a hobby or something fun to do because I work alone and sometimes you can't be like inspired 24/7.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's a good way for me to learn to become a better musician and
Yeah.
and I love dissecting the songs I love, like really
Hmm.
listening closely because you don't really listen that closely when you just listen.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Not until you have to really, oh, what's he doing there with the chords?
Yeah.
And the Cure is a big challenge because holy fuck, what a mess.
Oh my God, right?
Just
I
messy.
know.
You picked the absolute perfect album.
Okay, let's do the hardest one to cover. So I picked the whole Pornography album I'm covering at the moment, and it's
Yeah.
like
I
I
cannot
never
wait to hear
okay,
this.
yeah, it's gonna be special, but I think it's a good idea to cover because I wanted to do maybe a Cure tribute for the next one.
Yeah.
I said, why not cover that album because it means a lot to me, that album.
Yeah.
Uh,
Mhm.
Especially not when it was released, really. I thought it was too messy back then,
Yeah.
but now I've become a better listener. So the past 10 years, it's like a regular in the
Yeah.
car when I drive. I drive a lot, so with all the
Mhm.
gigs in down south. So that's a good album to drive to, and it's fun to jump into other people's music and kind of dissect it to see where okay, and then add some here and there, maybe,
Yeah.
and especially with Cure because I like to have melodies, and
Hmm.
the only real melody there is Robert's voice, really, when you
Hmm.
listen normally. But if you listen very closely, there's a lot of different melodies being played on top of each other.
Yeah.
on the guitars and the bass
Mhm.
that you don't really notice it.
What is it?
Uh,
To you.
yeah. So yeah. So that's then you know, it's not gonna be as depressing as the album itself. I think it really is
Yeah,
depressing.
really.
So I'm trying to put a bit of light on it, a bit of hope in the songs. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
so and it's
No,
going
I
really well because it's going well. I'm about half done now already. It's only 8 songs, so
yeah. No, I'm so excited for this one. I really am. I love that album a lot. When you announced
yeah.
that on World Goth Day, I was like, oh, this is freaking perfect. So
Yeah, that was by chance. I was going to, oh, it's World Goth Day today. It was a perfect day to announce it.
yeah, no, that was
Yeah,
very
because
well played,
at the
man.
moment I'm kind of in new album limbo. The
Mhm.
album is the next album, Leatherstrip album is done. The next 2 ones are done. I have like Anal Cabaret Part 2 coming out. It's a full album, and I'm gonna release and then the new original Leatherstrip album is coming. I'm gonna release them this together.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
So here in November.
Nice.
Usually around my birthday, 13th of November. So that's the plan. It's already in boxes in there. I got the whole thing. I like to do that so I can plan better out because I have to do all unpacking all the stuff myself. And
Yeah.
there's only like one distributor who gets a box. Otherwise, they buy it directly from me always.
Yeah.
Uh,
No, I love
so
it.
so I'm kind of in a limbo with new songs. I am
Mm.
working on new songs, but I kind of get stuck in them because I need this album out, then I'm ready for the next one.
Yeah.
yeah.
So
No, you do.
doing the covers helps me, keep busy with the music. So
Yeah. And it's a huge
and
fan
the
base.
Skinny Puppy ones, the Throwing Bones, the two of
Yeah.
them, it's like the biggest success I've had in 25 years.
Yeah. No,
So,
those two albums are incredible. The
I'm so
second
proud
one,
because the band likes both of them really a lot.
yeah.
So I sent all the songs to them both before releasing, and I always do that.
Yeah.
Usually bands don't respond, but Kevin and Ogre did. So that was really nice because I don't want to upset anybody. It's done with
Yeah.
love. Everything's
Yeah.
done. Everything I do with covers is done with love, and it's out of respect of the original. I get a lot of bullshitting people coming to me. Oh, you can't cover that. Yes, I can, and it keeps it keeps that it keeps the music alive. Like if
Yeah.
nobody covered anything, nobody would know who Mozart or Beethoven would be
Yeah,
today.
no doubt, right?
So, yeah,
Your
and
Christmas
hopefully
cover,
maybe
that
it
was
can open up
awesome.
some fans to the originals, and maybe make people go discover them.
Yeah.
Because not everybody
You
knows Skinny Puppy or
you do
Yeah.
16 tons.
yeah, that's a special one. 16
Yeah.
Tons was my dad sang that as a lullaby since I was an infant.
My
That
dad
was
used
my
to sing that
lullaby.
to me too. That's so awesome. Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
he sang that. So that song really has a special meaning for me. That's why
Yeah.
I covered. I had to cover that.
Yeah. No, it's
Yeah.
beautiful. I totally appreciate that.
Yeah,
So
that's
you have some astounding, truly astounding label mates on Zathomat. Um,
oh
Con-
yeah,
Consolidated, Pancow, X
yeah.
Marks the Pedwalk, By God 20.
Yep.
Do you have any?
So that was that was one of the reasons why I just left the whole fucking scene for 5 years back then when they shut down because
Yeah.
it was like what it, I thought we were like a family-ish type of thing,
Yeah.
but turns out we weren't.
Oh no, that sucks.
It's water under the bridge, but I'm proud to have been a part of that label, and I feel it's such a shame that they terminated it. Really, they should have kept going. They should have fixed the issues there were back then, and it could have been fixed very easily.
Yeah.
Mm.
Tala went more into the trance scene earlier. Even he hated. He turned his back on the harder stuff because he played every DJ a lot back then. techno club and other places where he played more industrial stuff.
Yeah.
But he got tired of playing the same old songs. As you then
Same old
play some other. I told him then play some other stuff.
Yeah.
You know, you have the power here. Yeah, but then
Yeah.
people bitch. Who gives a shit?
Yeah.
You have to educate your DJ. You have to educate your people. Here,
Yeah.
listen to this. This is new.
Yeah.
So I guess he kind of grew tired of that, and then there's more money in trance back then.
Yeah. No, I
He was a bit. He was
my
a.
first
He
studio I
still
had.
is. He's a businessman, and I understand that. That's fine. That's fine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
my first studio, a lot of the money I got was from rave DJs, because they were always selling ecstasy and always had money to pay their bills, you know.
Yeah,
So
you do what you have to,
you
right?
do what you have to do. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so
So
that's the same way. I bought a house in the middle of nowhere, built my
oh,
studio up there because it was cheap, and it keep my costs down, you know, my living costs down as much as I could, so I
Yeah.
could make it work.
yeah,
Because I'm never been in this for anything other than, you know, if I can put food on my table and pay the bills, that's fine.
Mm.
Because this is what I want to do. This is, you know, if I have to go get a day job, I'll do that. You know, I don't give a shit. You know,
yeah,
Yeah.
this is what I want to do. But having a day job makes it difficult because touring planning, you have to use uh, your vacation time on that. And, oh, it's going to be a big mess.
yeah,
Yeah.
But we're blessed over here. We have like 5 weeks every year. If
yeah,
you're a normal union worker, you have 5 weeks vacation a year.
yeah.
Oh, really?
So
That'd be nice.
yeah, so
We lack
yeah,
that. Yeah.
yeah. Americans don't have that.
No, we've got stupid people
Yeah.
that
We
we
had
don't look for
we had
representatives. We
well
look
back
for
in the
leaders,
old
apparently.
days, we had really strong unions, so
Yeah.
they really fought for that.
Yeah.
Uh,
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
So
So
your work has a
yeah,
reputation for carrying a
yeah.
deeper personal meaning in your intense music and emotional, sometimes political lyrics. When you start a piece, writing lyrics and music, how does a leather strip song take shape?
Usually, I just sometimes it could be like a sentence or a word. Words inspire me a lot.
Mhm.
Poetry. Um, but usually, I just go into the studio and see what comes out. You know, where am I today? I
A
usually
little bit more
start with
stream
a
of
beat, and
consciousness.
then I start because I started out as a bass player, so I play around with some bass sounds,
Yeah.
and suddenly layers come on,
Yeah.
and then it's kind of a magical process. I don't know where all this is coming from, really.
Yeah.
I have no idea. I'm never going to the studio. Now I'm gonna start on a new song. I just go in there and see if something comes out. And usually there is so lyrics come pretty early. As soon as I have like the main ground track for the verse and the chorus, I if there's gonna be a verse on the chorus.
Yeah.
Sometimes there's not.
Sometimes there's not. Yeah.
Yeah. Um the words just my lyrics come really fast, really quickly.
Mine are like that too. Sometimes I don't know
It's
what
just
I've written until I read it.
the first line is like, where are we going with this? And I just let go and
Yeah.
write. And sometimes it's crap, and then I'll start over. Or if that track doesn't feel right, I'll just delete it.
Yeah. So do you have a lot of one-track stuff?
I can feel pretty early that this is not working,
Yeah.
but it's rare. It's
Do you
rare
have a
that
lot
I
of
delete it.
one-track recordings? You know, where you go in, you've got the music playing, and then just in one take, you've got, yeah.
Most
It's
of my
very stream of
vocals,
consciousness, and I
most of
love
my
it.
vocals are first one takes.
Yeah, I
Most
get
of
a lot
them.
of that too.
But I jam with myself a lot.
Mhm.
Uh, I love programming the synths. That's a big love for me to get the sounds. That's
Yeah.
because that's the most fun part of it. I think is to kind of twist the knobs, see where we're going.
Yeah.
Sound can inspire a full song easily.
Yeah.
Just one sound. But I'm very bass oriented.
Mhm.
I need a good bass, good
Yeah,
bass line.
well,
That's the that's when
Yeah.
I have the bass line, the rest just comes easily.
yeah. Your music
Yeah.
is very oriented on the spine.
Yeah,
The spine and
Yeah.
the ass. Yeah. You
yeah,
Spine
get
and
into
exactly.
a
ass.
groove with your music.
Yeah, and also this, if you have a good bass line, it usually works live always.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's fucking awesome, man.
That's
yeah.
me.
But yeah, with Serenade for the Dead, again, it was fun to do that because it was different. It was written in totally different way. I was just sitting there with the pads and the string sounds,
Mhm.
and here I didn't need a structure. It's like one song could be have like 10 songs in it. I just kept going and build it up and change the melodies all the time through the
Mhm.
song. So it was also I learned a lot doing that album, becoming more symphonic, more sound
Yeah.
bigger. I love a big sound,
Big
like
sound.
because I
Yeah.
grew up with. I remember when I was buying tape as a 5-year-old, I would buy like Tangerine Dream tapes and
Oh,
Jean-Michel
yeah.
Jarre tapes and all that because I love that
When you were
big.
5,
Big sound.
Yeah, 5, 6 years
Majestic.
old. Yeah.
Yeah.
no
Yeah,
wonder you were
I
so
would
great.
I would go I would go
Jeez.
because they didn't sell shit here. Oh, Jean-Michel Jarre did, but like Tangerine Dream, nobody knew who they
Yeah,
were. So the tapes were reduced,
yeah.
and I had like my
Oxygen.
pocket money. I had my pocket money. My dad, we went shopping for the family. That was a tradition through whole my childhood. Every Saturday, me and my dad went shopping or grocery shopping. And I was like, as soon as it was a big department store, I said, okay. And he knew where I was going. I was going to the records and the tapes right
Yeah.
away. I would stay there and he would do the shopping and we'd get
Yeah.
some food and go home. So I had I knew what I had and I went directly to the reduced stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I would find all these weird craft work was I found there. I've discovered them. Even before I knew what the synth was, I was
Yeah.
attracted to that electronic
Mhm.
sound.
Yeah.
Mm.
No, for sure.
So yeah.
Jean-Michel
So
Jarre, man. Wow.
yeah, I met the guy.
No way. You got to meet
Yeah,
him?
he played a show. He had a Danish girlfriend living north of me, like an hour north. And he landed, they were going to visit her parents, and they landed in Aalborg, where I live, and then they
Yeah.
drove north to her parents' house. And he went through a big windmill. We have a lot of windmills here, so a big windmill park.
Yeah.
And that night, he had a dream of doing a show in the field in the middle of all
Windmills.
these windmills.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Wow.
And he produced the show himself. It took like 4 years to get it going and paid everything. He needed to do that show.
Oh,
And I went to that show and we came, Earl, Kurt, and I, 35,000 people came to that show.
Wow.
And nobody plays for 35,000 people in that part of Denmark. Never. It never happened before or after. Um, So, and he was checking out the sound in it was a big area. So he was walking around. Suddenly he was right next to us. So I got to meet him.
oh man.
Wow.
Oh, that's
That was
awesome.
pretty cool. Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
And I did it like a tribute track after it's on, I think, the Angel Maker album. I did like a tribute track and I had a friend, he worked for him. So he brought him the CD and he wrote me a little note.
Oh
Uh,
man. Oh, that's
that's
awesome,
cool.
dude.
Yeah, yeah. He's been a big inspiration for me also.
That's cool. I don't know a lot of people who know that name. It's kind of
Mm.
weird. I mean, I've got some friends that
He
get
was
a little bit
Tangerine Dream
deeper
and
into
and
music, but
Klaus Schulze from Tangerine Dream
mhm,
were and Jean-Michel
Mm.
Jarre in the 70s were even though I was a punk back then, I was listening to British punk,
yeah,
and that always stayed with me, that sound.
yeah.
And then Fat Gadget
Oh,
came
that's
along
amazing.
and
Yeah. Oh my
changed my
God.
life. Yeah.
Mm.
So yeah, or Jorgensen just with the ministry show that he was just doing with Frontline Assembly and Gary Newman.
Yeah, I
He's
wanted to be on that tour. I
closing
should
with
have been on that tour. Yeah.
yeah, you should have.
Yeah, I should have. Damn it.
Yeah. But yeah, he was closing with Ricky's Hand.
Yeah, that's a good version.
Yeah,
He does a good
yeah.
version.
No,
Ah, it's
it
so
was
funny.
great fun.
He's doing all the old stuff again.
I know. He's doing stuff from With Sympathy now. I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah.
I don't know. We're
He's
we're
getting
clearly
old and
living in
soft.
a
Yeah.
different world.
He should do that. When
He
he's
should,
retiring,
yeah.
come on, yeah. Because
Yeah,
that album, I bought it when it was released, and I bought it because of the artwork.
yeah. No,
I
right.
Artwork.
did I
Wow.
did that a lot. I bought albums and singles because of the artwork, because I
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
very into
It's
that
like
graphic.
the Flowers of Romance album by PIL.
Mm,
That was a very cover oriented album by for
yeah.
me as well. Yeah.
Uh,
And yeah, and then the stuff on it was just absolutely phenomenal.
And
Oh
I
my
got
God.
to meet Al also. That's one of my first shows in Denmark was supporting Revolting Cocks on the '91 tour.
Oh wow.
mm,
Man, that
wow.
must have been fun. You got
Oh
any ghost stories
shit.
from that?
That's when I learned about sex, drugs, and rock and roll.
Yeah.
You got a crash course on it for that.
I had no idea how the fuck they were going, how they could do a show. They were completely wasted, drugged out,
Yeah.
wasted, and the only one normal on that bus was Paul Fucker.
Paul Walker.
Everybody else was like completely gone.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Chris was passed out on the stage. He just fell over with a bottle of Southern Comfort or something on stage, and they
Oh
just
my
left him
God.
there. He was just passed out, laying on stage. We did sound check with him laying on stage. I wish I had photos.
Oh my God, that's awesome.
Nobody gave a shit. They just left him there.
Oh
They
my
left his
God.
ass there.
Oh my God. You're gonna
That
have to
was some
share
of
some of
those
them
good
photos with me,
memories.
man.
See, that's the good thing about not being wasted at shows. You remember this stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I saw them I saw not Revolting Cocks Ministry on the Land of Rape and Honey tour, and it was at an old
Mm.
underage dance club called Scoochies. It was after it had stopped being Scoochies and it was something else, but he shows up there. It's everybody's expecting, hey, dun, 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 and do stuff
Mm.
from With Sympathy. But if you'd been listening to his 12 inches releases and stuff and Twitch,
Which,
this seemed like a natural progression to me. Other people were like, I don't
Mm.
know what he's doing. But that show, he comes out
Uh,
and he's got a case or a big cooler full of Corona beers and a big bottle of Jack Daniels. And
Jack
he's
Daniels.
taking a swig off the Jack Daniels and he'd grab a Corona, crack the top, take a slug, and then throw it out in the crowd. And it's an all age show. So
yeah, that sounds like Al. Yeah.
it was a
Yeah.
hell
Well,
of a time,
that
man.
Twitch album also had a big part in my sound.
Yeah,
Yeah.
your cover of
Adrian
Isle of Man.
Adrian
Oh,
Sherwood, big inspiration.
Yeah.
yeah,
That was a smart move of him doing that album with Adrian.
yeah,
I wish they'd
Yeah.
done more. So
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God, yeah. No, that'd be great.
that
Your cover.
album, because he still kept his melody. Al's melodies are still
Yeah,
there
yeah.
from
Yeah.
the early days, the melodic stuff, and
Mhm.
together with that really industrial sound that Adrian can do, it was just a perfect mix.
Yeah,
Mm.
it's a damn near
That's
perfect
one of
album
my
for
top
sure.
5 albums of all time for
Yeah,
me.
me too.
Which,
It-
yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
So watching, yeah, that was good. That was good. It was a really good album.
Yeah, and completely new sound. I
Mhm.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
hadn't heard a band sound like that, like a melodic band sound like that ever.
Mhm.
So, and I've
Right.
had the pleasure of working with Adrian on some remixes for another label. So he's a really cool guy too. So
He said,
Klaus, Legacy of Hate and Lust was my introduction to your music, and it still resonates with me so deeply today. I'd love to see a vinyl reissue along with Japanese Bodies. Can we expect more vinyl to be coming out from you?
yeah, I've been pushing Cleopatra because that's the only way to do it because I don't have the budget for it. So I've been pushing like crazy for years. When they bought they bought the rights for the '90s stuff.
mhm,
And I've been pushing, you need to do the albums that never came out on vinyl on vinyl. They were like, let's get, you should do it
yeah,
for sure because people have been asking for that for decades.
yeah,
Um, And there, Serenade for the Dead is going to be the next one.
Ooh, that's
Oh,
So it's
Great.
right now,
Joey,
yeah.
there you go, buddy.
So
Right on.
they started out slowly to see how it's working, and it's working really well. So hopefully Legacy will be the next one after Serenade. So,
Okay.
but vinyl production is slow these days because all the big labels buy them up.
Yeah.
The factories, they buy them up, so all these smaller labels can
Yeah.
go back in,
They did a
go back in line.
yeah.
The big
Yeah.
No,
labels are
they
really
did do
they're
a very faithful and beautiful box set of your Zothomog years, and
that was they spent 2 years
I've
doing
got
that.
that.
They
Yeah.
wanted to
Oh,
do it for once. They wanted to do it right because I said, please, they wanted to do this box set. Are you okay with this? Yes, but do it right this time.
yeah.
Like, because back in the day, the deal was they had to use the same artwork, and then
Mhm.
it never did.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It never did.
It never did.
That one, there's so many different covers for the
that was
CDs when they got them.
the artwork I did back then was most of it was done with my father and was
Yeah.
very special for me. That was back in the old days with scissors and
Mhm.
tape,
Real cut
Mhm.
and paste. Yeah.
photography, and blowing things up and down, and
Yeah.
that was the old school way.
Yeah.
And they never did, so I said, "Yeah, we'll do with it with the original." And they were hunting down mint condition so they could copy
Mhm.
the artwork so it would be the same. So
Yeah.
they did a great job on that box set.
Yeah. No,
And
it
you
is
get every.
extremely
I
beautiful.
was searching through all my archive with the stuff I did because back then if you wanted to be on a compilation you had to put something on that's not released,
Mhm.
Mhm.
like version or remix or something.
Yeah.
So I was searching through the walls to find songs that never really was released originally to put on the box set. So that was cool.
Yeah.
No,
I'm
their
happy they
vinyl
did that.
releases.
Yeah, you can say a lot about Cleopatra Records. Yeah, you can say a
Yeah.
lot about that, but they really wanted to do it right,
Yeah.
and they did. And I'm
Yeah.
really
No, they did.
grateful also that they do the cover albums, vinyl too, and because it helps me build, keep my studio going, and
Mhm.
helps me financially with buying new stuff for the studio.
Yeah.
All the money I get from that goes directly into the studio. It's like that's earmarked for the studio.
That is
Mm.
awesome. How did you
Yeah,
get set up with Cleopatra? How did that
that was
relationship?
Sophomore. That was Tala back in the day. We started working with like I think Cargo Records and Reconstriction,
Okay.
and then Metropolis released a little bit. But then they changed to Cleopatra.
Yeah.
I don't know how, because back then things were just decisions were made without my knowledge.
Yeah.
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 And
Sometimes that
suddenly I had
happens.
a new covers on my album. Say, what the fuck? I told you.
Jeez.
So
Yeah.
you mentioned taking a break for a while after
Yeah, I had
Zothomog.
a shitty year. My dad got diagnosed with lung cancer. The label was in a mess, and I found out that they really ripped me off big time.
Oh no.
As always, labels.
Mhm.
uh,
Yeah. As always.
and I just had enough, really. And I blamed the music for my misery, so I kind of didn't touch a keyboard for years.
Oh,
I started painting stuff instead to
Yeah.
get that creative outlet, but I was a mess. I was really like about 4 years, really bad depression.
Mhm.
Luckily, Kurt was there.
yeah.
I'm not sure I would be here with Kurt hadn't been there. He was the one. Well, why don't you? He never pushed me. He said, I think you should just do some music just for yourself, and maybe that'll help. And I started working with some of the crack groups because they needed loops for the
Mhm.
installers,
Oh wow.
all the hackers. Yeah. So I met some of on a chat and said, oh, you can do some so I did like 100 of those loops for hacked music software.
Oh,
Uh-huh.
wow. Oh, no, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, nobody knows this. This first time I never told anybody
Oh,
really.
wow.
So
You got an
yeah, so I
exclusive
have all
game.
these small loops. Yeah, yeah. And you could hear it, it's leather strip. Nope, not one person ever. Did you do this? But it sounds like leather strip. So
Oh, my God.
so that was kind of a way. And then Alpha Matrix, the Belgium label I was on, every year they did like a compilation, and they always asked me. They wrote me, "Do you want to be on this?" And I said, "Nah, sorry, I'm not really doing anything at the moment." And then suddenly I said, "What the hell? I just did it." And then it was like opening a floodgate. I started writing again. I had an album ready in 6 months, and it was it was so good. I should have done it before, but live and learn.
Well, the return was a freaking hell of a release after the
Yeah, well,
devastation.
it was thank you. It was an eye opener too, because not not one of the people from my past in the scene, the labels, the people I worked with, not one of them called me, emailed me, wrote me, and asked about me, what was going on. Not one.
That one.
That was also a reason I said, what the fuck? I
Yeah.
made these people so much money, and huh?
Yeah.
And people thought I was dead. Like online, people I could see on the forums,
Mhm.
Yeah.
people thought I was dead or something. I never responded because I didn't want anything to do, because as soon as I thought about the music, I got even more depressed.
Yeah.
Of course, because I wasn't doing what I was supposed to do. I was
Yeah.
Yeah.
back in the studio, start over, start fresh. But I did. Took me 4 years to get there, but glad
Yeah.
I
Anyway.
yeah, yeah, oh yeah, 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 yeah. And then Amphi Festival in Germany. This they they every year after my comeback, they offered me money to play live at their festival, and it just went higher, higher, higher. Every year they offered, and then suddenly I said, I can't say no to this. It was
Yeah.
like crazy money for to get that comeback show.
Yeah.
Uh, so I've got to play live again, and
Well,
my
I
back is
gotta, I gotta,
fine. And yeah, and I've been on since that was 2009. I've been on a constant tour since then, really.
yeah. No, I really gotta thank Alpha Matrix, for,
Yeah,
doing what they
they were
did.
the reason.
Pulled back
Also,
in.
one thing that's really nasty, um, when it was announced, all these uh, all these people from the past who kind of forgot about me
Yeah.
came running along. You owe me an album. We want money. Blah 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 blah. Blah.
Oh,
Yeah.
So I almost said, okay, this is I can't deal with this. I don't. Then I'm not coming back. I wrote every single one of them. Do you want to be the reason why Leatherstrip is not returning? I don't owe you shit.
yeah.
You
Mhm.
you
Well,
you
I'm
weren't
so
there for
glad you
me
stand up for yourself, man.
through my hell here. You didn't even try to contact me. I had the same address, same phone number, same email. Nobody. So if you want, I will go. Even one of the bigger labels, I would say, okay, I will announce tomorrow that I'm pulling back my return, because this guy suddenly wants something I don't owe them.
Yeah.
And then they
Yeah.
shut up. Then they shut up.
Mm. Mm.
So, it's creepy sometimes people can be, people
Yeah.
you thought were your friends and
Friends.
family
Yeah.
are like assholes.
Hmm.
Mhm.
So I tried, I thought I was a good judge of character. Apparently I wasn't. So that kind of also put me like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Can I
Yeah.
trust anybody anymore? So, but right now I'm doing well. I'm working with people I completely trust,
Yeah.
and I haven't
Yeah.
been fucked over since.
Well,
That's
Well,
good.
there's a few promoters here and there, without naming names.
well, those,
They got to come in there.
yeah, those,
Yeah.
those years are, since you've been back, you just, the moniker, the hardest working man in, EDM.
Yeah, people thought I'd been doing music and that's why for those 4 or 5 years I was gone,
Yeah.
just working, and then releasing
Yeah.
everything. No, I
No.
didn't touch the keyboard almost really. I didn't
Wow.
write a song. Only made these small loops really.
Yeah. I mean, you've got
That,
multiple projects coming out per year, and it's absolutely
yeah.
fascinating. You're,
And I don't think I worked that hard, really.
yeah. No, it seems
It's
like
a
that's
passion,
all
you
you
know.
do. But
Yeah,
then
I met
but I
John
know you,
Mayland.
and I see you like, you get out, you do stuff, you know. How the animals?
Oh, the cat, he's running in and out at the moment. So right now we only have John's cat,
Okay.
Emil. Yeah.
All right. And how's John
So
doing?
yeah. One more time.
How's John doing?
He's sleeping. It's in
Oh,
the middle of the morning. Yeah, he's getting up in 1 hour. He got to
oh.
work. Yeah. I fucked up again with a time change.
Oh my God. What time is it?
It's 4 a.m.
Oh,
Jesus.
4 a.m. Wow. Jeez.
I can never work
Oh
it out
my
when I'm
God.
here.
I
Yeah,
am
it
so
doesn't matter.
sorry, my friend. I am
No,
so
no, no,
sorry.
no. No, it's fine. I'm doing fine. Yeah,
Oh
I
my God.
went to bed early and went up.
You are
I went to bed
incredible,
early.
dude. You are incredible.
I went to bed early and then got up at 2:30 to get ready for
Okay.
you.
thank you.
Oh,
We love you, man. That's awesome.
thanks.
That's the perks of no day job.
Yeah, no, for
Yeah.
sure, right? Right?
Yeah.
And
Oh my God.
I was in the studio yesterday too, working on Siamese twins, for the Cure thing.
Yeah.
Oh,
So,
okay.
just so the people watching have a little bit of background on this, we were trying to set up the times because Klaus is in Denmark, Joey's in Texas, Levi's in Denver, and I'm in Seattle. So we worked out that we would do it at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time here because it was supposed to be 9 a.m. in Denmark, and it's
I
not
went the
9
wrong
a.m.
way
in
here.
Denmark. Yeah, we went the other way. Yeah.
I'm an expert when I'm in America to tell John, remember, it's 8 hours or 7 hours or whatever behind or ahead.
Oh my
But when
God.
I'm here, I
I
can't.
am so sorry. I
Brain is
should have
just
double checked on that.
doesn't
So,
Yeah.
matter.
but
It was good. It was a good because I was getting ready yesterday morning at 9 o'clock because I thought it was then.
oh my God.
Oh,
Oh, I wish
But
you would have called me.
luckily,
I wish you would have called me and let me
because
know. We could have done that.
the
Yeah.
day before no, that's fine.
Yeah.
Because I didn't really want to do it then because I was massively hungover and still drunk. So it wouldn't, because we went to like a fluke barbecue thing with some
Yeah.
of John's old friends, and it turned out to be like a 9 hour thing
Oh wow. Yeah, it looked like you guys were having
and
fun.
some jacuzzi stuff.
Yeah. Oh my God, that's
smash.
awesome. Man.
Yeah. So I'm glad it wasn't then.
Yeah.
I know your message were like, I'm not doing a show at 6 in the morning.
Oh, I'm doing it at 3 in the morning.
You're doing it at 3
Early
in the
morning.
morning. There you go. Oh my God,
Yeah.
that's awesome. Okay.
Okay,
So
it's fine.
when you came back, were there any significant changes to the way you made music, recording?
No, it was like I was on pause and then somebody play.
No new technology or
Because
anything?
I didn't change anything. No, not really.
Okay. Okay.
Um,
Mm.
because money was tight, so I couldn't even buy stuff. That's also why, because I got some free software from this hack for doing
Yeah.
these loops, and but no, it's basically the same equipment as I used for self-inflicted
All right.
carry me single. Yeah,
That's awesome.
and it's still what I'm using now. So I try not to sell my old stuff because I know these synths. I know exactly if I have a sound in my head, I know I can just go to it. And I don't like to buy new stuff all the time because it takes a while to get to know a synthesizer,
Yeah.
how it's sounding, what it can do. Um, but now I have built a small studio here. I'm at John's house. I still have my studio in Vegger. It's paid for, so I keep it. There's no room for all that shit here anyway. So I built a small studio in one of the rooms, so I can compose here, and then I bring it back to the big studio and finish it.
What do
Hmm.
you
So,
use
but
for your
I
vocals?
found this company called Cherry Audio.
Cherry
They do
Aria?
like soft, yeah, they do soft synths, and they are
Okay.
so fucking amazing. The best analogish sounding
Oh,
uh,
okay.
plugins I've ever heard. They had that great little bit out of tune, and they had that
Mhm.
they really perfected the software synth really for me.
Mm.
And big knobs. It's like and it's very easy to get your controller to
Yeah.
to assign the knobs to that. So it's really easy to program. It's like sitting in front of your like MS-20.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
so I use that a lot here because
MS-20 right over here.
there's no
Well,
room for the
actually, it's
hardware
me.
here. Yeah. So
Hmm.
Cherry Audio, check them out. And it's not a sponsorship, sadly.
Oh, well,
and
maybe one
and it
day.
it's very affordable. It's nothing crazy expensive, and it's so powerful. You have
Huh.
to check them
Okay. Yeah. No, I
really,
absolutely will.
especially
Yeah.
they have they have a polyphonic MS-20 there, and
Oh,
it's wild
like the
because
Korg.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. I've got the mini sitting right over here.
I have the original
Yeah.
from
No,
way
yeah,
back. I
I
bought it
wish.
in '83. Yeah, with a
Man.
big with
Yeah.
the power adapter.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
My
that's a
God.
great. That's one for me. That's one of the Moogs and that MS-20
Yeah.
is the best. Still have my Moog Prodigy, my Moog Source. I use that
Wow.
maybe on 50% of the songs.
Yeah. I've got gear acquisition syndrome.
Yeah,
Hmm.
but it's hard not to buy everything
It
because there's so
really
much
is.
stuff coming out and all these Behringer stuff. I bought
Oh
the
my
because
God, right?
I had a Monopoly, the original Cork. I sold it. It's one of the few ones I sold, and I regretted it ever since.
Yeah.
And then they made this because it's so expensive to buy the original one, and you have to change out all the parts in it because it's so old.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And they brought out the clone of it, and it's so amazing.
Yeah. No, they've really upped their game with the stuff they're putting out right now. It's
Yeah, and I know there's a lot of gear snobs going,
yeah.
oh, but I can't afford to buy the original, really. I
No,
can't.
right?
And I can't afford to maintain it because it's
Yeah.
old.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
the components in there like ancient.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
I'm glad they're doing that.
Yeah.
Um,
I was really happy
also
that
also
Roland put
keeping the price
everything.
down.
Yeah.
Also the way they keep the price down so everybody can afford it. So that's a good
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like Roland put all their stuff on as plugins.
Yeah.
So you can like and
Yeah,
that's just
I bought
incredible
I
because
never had a Jupiter 8, so I bought the little Jupiter X thing, XM,
yeah,
the small
yeah,
one. That's really cool because it has all the old synths I had.
yeah. I've got a Jupiter
Yeah.
8 shirt my friend Bryce gave me. A shirt, but
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
love that shirt. I wish I had the real thing, but you're talking like
Oh, so
twenty-five
expensive.
thousand dollars, something like that.
Yeah,
Jesus. I'm
crazy.
like, oh,
And you have to spend
and then
money
have
every
to
year
upgrade
to
it. Yeah.
maintain it.
Every year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
Yeah,
no.
but oh my God, that thing was
I
worth
don't
it.
care what brand it is, as long as it makes the sound I have in my head, I'm
Yeah.
happy.
Yeah.
That's what counts.
Yep.
Exactly.
That's what counts.
I'm not running a museum or like
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
trying to impress anybody. I've never published a photo of my studio. Never.
Hmm.
A lot of people that ask, can we see? No, can't.
No.
A
No.
fucking mess.
Oh my God.
It's not because I'm not gonna share my secrets because it's a mess. And that's how I work. It's
Yeah.
chaos. I
Yeah.
like chaos.
Chaos in progress.
Well, your discography is massive. Is there an album that stands out about all others that you can step back from and just marvel at as being your favorite? And if so, why, Klaus?
Yeah, it's like it takes me 2 3 years after I release an album to kind of listen to it as anybody would listen to it who
Mhm.
didn't make it.
Yeah.
Right? It takes a while,
Mm.
and I think my last station album, the last one, is uh, songwriter. The way I wrote the songs, the melodies I put together. I think for me, that's my because I learned a lot since the early days, and composing wise, I think that's for me, that's my favorite. But if you look at my whole career, Solitary Confinement is why I'm still here. That album is still selling, selling,
Yeah.
and it's still being, people are still going, wow, this album. And
Yeah.
and people should know it's recorded on a 4-track recorder, tape recorder, the whole album, and
Damn. Lots of
with
bouncing track. Did you do a
MIDI
lot of
and all my
bouncing
synth.
tracks?
One more time?
Did you do a lot of bouncing tracks on that, or is it...
No, it's a sequencer. I had
Wow.
the C-Lab on the Atari, and then press, record, tape, 2 tracks, and then two tracks vocal. That's it. That's what it is.
Damn. Oh my
Wow.
God, man. Wow.
Yeah,
That's incredible. And
it is.
that album is like woven into people's DNA. It
Yeah,
really is.
it is. It has its own life. I mean,
Yeah.
really. And every time I play, I have to play, 2, 3 songs from that album when I do shows, and you
Yeah.
just see the smiles on people's faces. They're 21 again. Uh, that's the best feeling ever. And I was in a bad place back then, really bad. So to have that, change my life in the way it did, was like, it saved my life, basically, that album. I know it
Can you
sounds,
listen to it without going back to that place?
no, I remember recording everything. I have a very good memory. I'm like an elephant.
Yeah.
I can, even the shows we did back then, I remember everything, really. I
Wow.
can't, names I forget, but what was going on, how we got there is funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just remember it. I remember recording it. I remember feeling like shit, but that kept me up. That doing that album just got me
Yeah.
through it. And that's why it's so powerful, because
No, it is.
I've heard so many people come like that. When I was going through this and that, when I was dying, I thought I was dying from cancer. This was
Yeah.
in my headphones, and because there's a lot of pain in it, and I think, but that's also why I try always, no matter how harsh the song is, I always try to have some hope in it, in
Yeah.
either the lyrics or the melodies. So it's
Mhm.
not all dark. There's always a way out
Mm.
wherever you
Yeah.
are. That's
Yeah,
what I
it is.
learned in life. There's always a way out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I love life. I don't want to end it, really.
Yeah. No,
I
me
just want to
too.
keep
Yeah.
going.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, we're good
you
on that
bump
here.
in some bullshit and go, what the fuck? And then you bounce back. Always bounce back.
Yeah.
So I've been through some shit, and yeah, there's always a way out. Always.
That's a
Mhm.
great message, man.
And if you don't have anybody to ask for help from, you can do it yourself.
Yeah. No,
It's all
for
about
sure.
up here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I take lots of long walks. John's house in Viborg. It's a very old, ancient city in the middle of Jutland, the main line of Denmark.
Mhm.
Full of history, and there's some lakes you can walk around. It's a beautiful area here. Wonderful city.
Mm.
Good for getting your thoughts straighten out.
Yeah. No,
So
I
for me, that's a
definitely
good.
understand.
So as soon as John comes home from work, we usually go for a walk if the weather's
That's
good.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely wonderful.
So
And
yeah, again, so if I'm not sure where I would be, um, if I hadn't found music the way I did, but I'm sure I would be working in the business for sure.
yeah. Well, I
Because
know there's
music
a lot of people in this world that have probably found their way because of your music. And
that's the amazing part of the power of what it does, and that's totally out of my hands. So
yeah.
you didn't change yourself, or you did.
Yeah.
I was just a soundtrack, maybe.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, what a fucking
Yeah.
soundtrack, dude. Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, but
You
I'm
also
proud of everything. I never release anything I can't stand behind 100%. Not even the bullshitty song, the funny songs. It's always done with. I would never release anything I couldn't, wouldn't be proud of.
Okay.
so you've got
Really, never.
a lot of artists that you pay tribute to on the Appreciation albums. Have you been able to work with any of them directly?
No, I wish.
Because
I wish.
I think you being on stage with Rob
Uh,
Halford would be a
my
freaking
dream,
amazing
my
thing.
my dream scenario would be to do an album where with different vocalists. But they don't want to do that with me. Who the fuck is?
I don't know.
Like I
I could
would
see
like
you.
imagine me doing a project with Ogre. See, that would just be amazing. That was like
Yeah.
that's one of the top ones, the top
Yeah.
dreams. Uh, um, Mark Almond, he's one of my favorite singers, so I would love to work with him. But he doesn't really work with just anybody. So
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
luckily you're not just anybody. So
yeah,
true.
yeah. For him, I met him once, and he's the most shy person I've ever met in my life.
Oh,
Yeah, and you
really?
wouldn't think so. He's very on stage. He's completely there, but he's a tiny little man, very, very shy in private. So,
Mm,
Wow.
mm,
but I got to give him my anal cabaret, the first one, because I couldn't get through to him when I released it.
yeah,
So he was a friend of mine booked him to play here, close to here, and I said, "Let me in for the sound check. I want to give him that album." So, and he was very sweet, but oh my God, he was so shy. Yeah, he
mm,
didn't even fly with the band. He flew in on a plane,
Oh, wow.
yeah.
Okay,
and
then.
he's very, what do you call it? If you're afraid of bacteria, what's that word? Phobia.
Oh,
Yeah.
phone.
Germaphobe.
Yeah,
Germaphobe.
yeah, germaphobe.
Hmm.
And my friend, he picked him up at the airport in his filthy old shitty car and said, "You didn't do that." He must have been must have been so scared in the back seat.
No. Oh, no.
And he had you know the guy Omerschnoff,
No.
the German. He looks like Popeye.
Oh,
Yes, yeah, no,
Oh,
yes.
yeah.
Omerschnoff
yeah.
is a friend of mine. He was playing the weekend before and he puked in the car. That's how filthy he
Oh,
was.
man.
Poor guy. I was like, sitting there and he's in a panic in the back seat. Ah,
Oh,
you
no.
should have
Help
rented a
me.
car for that. Come on, you spent so much
Oh,
money to book him, and he lost a shitload of money because he's
oh, my
expensive.
God.
With full band and everything, I think he
Oh,
lost
man.
Damn.
$50,000 or something on that. But he saved up, and then it didn't matter if he lost it. He wanted to see his favorite artist play in his
Yeah.
hometown, so he just did it. That's how he spent his money. I respect that.
That's brilliant, man. That's
Yeah,
really
it
cool.
is. He. That's how we got Skinny Puppy to play here in
Yeah.
Denver. Yeah. I said, okay, I will play for free, and then we would have about 250 people there just for me, and then you book. And he got Skinny Puppy for so little money. They were playing Gothenburg, and they had to take the ferry to Denmark and go to Hamburg, and they drove right past, and they had a day off. So he got them for 3,000 euros. That's like
Oh,
peanuts.
wow. Oh,
Yeah,
my
yeah.
God.
It's like what I get.
Yeah. So what year was this?
That was in
Wow.
2010. That was when I got to play open for them.
Yeah.
The dream come true. But we worked it out. So he didn't lose money on it. So that's cool. And I got to hang out with Skinny Puppy for 5, 6 hours. So that was cool.
Yeah.
And they
Yeah.
were
Yeah.
both friends. So I had no idea. I was talking to Kurt before walking. I hate asking people for pictures, but
Yeah.
I need one with Kevin and one with Ogre, and
Yeah.
I'll
Yeah.
ask I'll ask them. And then
Yeah.
as soon as we walked into the door, Kevin came running with a camera. Klaus, I need a photo.
Yeah, they're awesome, man. They really are.
Yeah, they are. They are.
Yeah.
They're super guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, it's so sad they
Um,
didn't make. People are so pissed over here because they didn't do the tour over
I
here, the
know,
farewell tour.
that would be awesome if
Yeah,
they could get it
yeah.
over there for
You
everybody.
know, they could easily do a show where, because this tour wasn't very theatrical. They had a few masks, right?
No,
Yeah.
it was, yeah.
Some masks,
And the
nothing too, Nothing
like
you
The,
can't.
the story behind it, I think, for Ogre was the idea that in the States there's this sort of anything that's different you want to just stamp out, and that's
Mm.
sort of the bullshit we're having to deal with right now. But
Oh, it's the
yeah,
same
so
over
it was kind of, I mean, there was a theme to it. It wasn't your viscerally bloody skinny
No,
puppy
no.
show. It was
See, that's what I mean. They
much more
could, they,
nuanced.
I think if they did it smart, they could have done it financially and get his cage made over here.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe Kevin
Mhm.
didn't bring his tower of gear that weighs 2 tons or something.
Yeah,
That's where the costs are, you know.
Yeah.
They could easily do like maybe a scaled down version of that and make good money on it
Yeah.
financially because people really wanted to see them over here. I have a lot of friends who had to flew to America to see it.
I'm hoping they got film of that. I know that they had cameras at a couple of the shows. And I'm hoping
That would
there's,
be a good
you
Blu-ray.
know, a DVD to come out. I mean, we had Ain't It Dead Yet, and then we had
Mm,
the Greater Wrong of the Right,
yeah.
which I'm glad was on there because that's the only tour I've missed of theirs since '86,
Mm,
Mhm.
and I was just devastated to miss that one. So
yeah.
you know, there's a big
Yeah,
comeback.
that was a good show. That was a
Yeah,
good
no,
show.
I was watching that DVD just crying, going, "Oh my God, I can't believe I didn't
Mm,
see this in person." So
yeah. Yeah, again, the problem with these big productions, to get them to other continents, it's so expensive. And
yeah, I'm hoping
because
there's
I
gonna be
know
a
that
big
the last tour,
release.
the big tour they did in 2010, they financially just, I think, broke even. And that's not right because I know they played some festivals and I know what they charge, and I can't understand why they couldn't make it work, but I guess they couldn't. Maybe I don't know. I've never done a bus tour in my life, so sadly I wanted to do a
Yeah,
bus
Mhm.
tour. That's why I wanted to be on that Gary Newman Ministry Frontline tour.
yeah,
Yeah.
I
that would
wanted
have
to
been
be on that.
incredible, man.
Should have been on it. Yeah.
Yeah,
And I'm so easy, just me, two keyboards. No stand.
Yeah.
yeah, right.
I don't take that much room in the bus.
Mhm. Well, eventually you're gonna have the big things because your live show is intense. And
I'm very happy. I'm just grateful. I'm 56 now, and I still get to do this.
Mhm.
yeah,
Yeah,
What I was
yeah,
dreaming about as a 14-year-old, I'm still doing. And I made it work.
yeah,
And that's just amazing. So I'm just, everything's a win now. It's just, bookings are coming in like crazy.
yeah,
I'm going
uh,
back to Canada again, playing Montreal and hopefully Toronto. Um, it's been a long time since I played Canada. It's been hard to get shows there.
yeah,
But back to Mexico. Mexico was so much fun. I really want to do like South American, Latin American tour,
yeah,
a full tour this time because I know I have a lot of listeners there. And the shows there are always amazing. But
yeah.
right now, America's really showing me love. So I'm over there 4 or 5 times a year now. So that's amazing.
Mm.
And I'm
Wow.
coming back I have a LA show. And around that, we're trying to do some more shows at the moment to
Mhm.
book some more shows for that. And hopefully a tour again next year. So
yeah.
yeah,
So
No,
I
that's
Wow.
got
great.
already got some pretty good festival gigs in America next year. I can't talk about yet. So
Mhm.
luckily, I didn't work with Cold Waves this time. Hopefully next year we'll see.
Okay,
Yeah.
Yeah,
excellent.
I want to play Cold Waves. Everybody's playing Cold Waves. I want to play there too.
well, we'll put you in touch with. Talk to Jason about that.
He knows. He knows.
He knows.
He knows. And so many people have been asking. I had to post like, "I'm sorry, I'm not booked." Because are you booked for Cold Waves? So like every year, as soon as they start announcing bands, I get like tons of messages, people asking because I haven't played Chicago in a while. So
Uh,
hopefully,
There you go.
mm.
yeah, have a
Chicago.
good.
Somebody in Chicago needs
Chicago
to
is
call
lovely.
Klaus.
Yeah, I've always all the shows I've ever played there have been good. So Chicago, yeah, well, Chicago is kind of the place for this, you know.
Yeah.
LA,
Yeah.
Chicago, Denver's growing big time, you know. AJ down there is doing a
Yeah.
great job. Okay, he built the scene up there, so
Yeah.
it's big in Denver now.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I think the Skinny Puppy shows there went really well from the tour.
Mhm.
Ministry played everybody's playing Denver now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's
My
got a
fiance
good
says,
scene.
my fiance says she wants to see you guys come. I like to see you guys come because my health isn't at its best, so we couldn't go the last time.
Well,
But this time we're gonna make it a point.
yeah.
You know?
Again, it's all about if you have people in the cities, grassroots people who really have the passion. Those are the people
Yeah.
we need to support because they are the ones they're taking the risk. I have a set
Yeah.
fee, so I don't take any risk. I just come there. So
Yeah.
your local promoters, everybody needs to support their shows because the
Yeah.
more you support them, the bigger bands you get. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's how simple it is.
Absolutely.
And stop bitching
Yeah.
about, oh, what are they playing there? No, go to the shows your local promoter does so he can make an income and maybe try something bigger.
Yeah.
It's
True.
not very hard. So, but it's hard to get people, especially after Corona. People are not, the pre-sales are always shit.
Yeah.
And people are they're like deciding in the last minute these days.
Yeah.
And it's hard for promoters because oh, fuck, I'm going to lose so much money. And then it turns out, it's going to be sold out or anything the last day. So we have some festivals here in Europe that are like, oh, we don't want to cancel, but the pre-sales are shit. And then suddenly, because they say that, sales starts.
Yeah.
Only.
Yeah.
Klaus, you produced our friend Mona Rouchart's album Luxuria for her band Sign, and I love the chemistry you have on that album. It's incredible.
I love her stuff. It was. If she asked, I was asked. She asked. We played Mechanism last time, and then she asked if I wanted to. Yeah, sure, let's talk. And that was fun to work with. I love her, like slow, sexy. She has like this sexy, slow kind of vibe going. I really love that.
Yeah.
It was fun to. I didn't really overproduce it at all. I just kept it so it sounded like, I didn't want to, some producers just rip everything apart. I want to keep that energy she has. And she had an instrumental on it that wasn't finished, and I wrote some words for it and sang it, and that ended up being like the main track on, so that we had like a duet on it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, she's really talented. I really love her stuff, and we need more women in this scene here. Come on,
Yeah.
come on, girls, you can do it.
Yeah.
No, because
we
they
need to work-
bring on in that female thing into the music. That's very different, from us guys. Really good beat, bass line. They have some sensual stuff in their way of composing, and I like that. And Erica I wish she didn't have all that label shit going on from Untonal. Because we need another Untonal album. Erica.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, but that's again, label politics can be bad.
Yeah. Always is.
Yeah, they don't want to let her go. She hasn't released anything in 9-10 years now. Come on, let her go.
Jeez.
Alpha Matrix, let Erica go. Free Erica. Let her
Free
go.
Erica.
Free Erica.
Yeah.
That'll be one of our new things on the page. Free Erica. So
Yeah, it's sad sometimes. Yeah, but I know exactly where she can't do anything without. She can't do because the contract, it's in her name. It's not the project. So too bad.
Yeah.
That's how I got out of it, because they forgot to renew my contract.
So I forget.
Yeah,
I had some issues with one of the guys there, and with all the sideline stuff, there was some issues there. I don't want to get into that, but I just couldn't be on that label anymore because of that. And they didn't renew the contract. I can just leave.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's
Hey,
cool.
But I really owe them a lot. They were the label who got me to come back. So no hard feelings. It's all good.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So
We
speaking of that,
parted ways, and that's fine.
your newer projects, AM Tier Park in Gusten. Is it
Yeah.
Gusten?
Yeah, Gusten.
With
It
John
means like it's a Danish word. It's like it means pale and undernourished,
Okay.
like punk, like
Yeah.
skinny ass punk who needs some
Uh-huh.
food.
Yeah.
Gutter,
And
gutter
you're doing
punk.
both of these with John Merlin, yeah?
Yeah, yeah,
And
we're a
yeah,
good team. We just and we do this for fun, you know. We take it very seriously, but it's all done with, you know,
Mhm.
nobody has to make anything. It's done with passion.
Right on.
I met John, and then I met him even before I didn't even know he made music, and then uh,
Well, he's a
we talked
visual artist
about
too, yeah.
he does everything.
Yeah, that's
He was a
yeah,
black metal
incredible.
drummer
I've seen some of his
too, and
drawings.
he's like he can do anything. He's one of these people. It's very annoying. Whatever he wants to do, he does. If he
Mhm.
doesn't know how to do it, he'll learn it really quickly. That's how Gustin was made. He wanted
Yeah.
to learn to play the guitar. He bought a guitar, and then 2 months after, we made the first Gustin album because it was punk. He was doing punk. I said, "What the fuck? You don't listen to punk? No, it's
Yeah.
punk." And I
No,
always
both
wanted
of
to be
those
in a punk
projects
band.
that,
I'm an old punk, so
yeah.
okay, let's do a punk album that
Yeah.
nobody likes.
Oh, I like
so,
it.
so we had so much fun, and the new one also
Yeah.
it's more heavy now. Um, but yeah, he's a good because he has the same passion, you know,
Yeah.
that I who we do it for, you know, the fun of it. You know, what
Mhm.
can we create? What can we get out of this? And without any plans of doing anything with it
Yeah.
other than
Mhm.
releasing it.
Mhm.
So I think it's important to have stuff like that where you just
Yeah.
fuck around and do whatever.
Well, there's
Nice.
probably not a
That's
huge
how
chance we're gonna
Clute
see you
Clute was
guys
started.
live at some point.
His work is he works for the Danish government. He's
Mhm.
always working. So for us to have like a few months rehearsals and stuff like that, it's just not possible, sadly,
Oh,
uh, for him.
that's too bad because
Also because I'm
I'm getting into
so it
both
will
of
be
those
fun.
projects.
Yeah, we could easily do Gusten live easily.
Yeah.
You know, because he should be on the drums, and then we can hire a guitar player, find a guitar player to do and
Yeah.
I can play the bass, so
Mhm.
that
Damn,
easily.
that would be so freaking cool.
Yeah, it's funny because the core of Leatherstrip fans, what the fuck is this? They are not
Yeah.
punks, you know, they're electronic people. But you know, I don't care. It's done with love and fun. You know, it's just about that's how punk should be. It's punk. Very
Yeah.
spontaneously. He does a track and do a lyric in 15 minutes, record it, one take, send it back. He mixes it, we release it. So that's how
Yeah.
it works. Same with
Oh,
Amtia
that's
Park.
awesome.
It's
Yeah.
reason it's not Amtia Park, it's
Oh, it's
Amtia
Amtier
Park.
Park. Okay.
Yeah, it means at the zoo in German.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
Because we he had another band and I got them to open for me in Berlin, and they booked a hotel that's called Hotel am Tierpark, the hotel
Mhm.
at the zoo. Right across the street as the zoo. So,
Mhm.
and the road is called Am Tierpark. And while walking, because Kurt was tired from the drive, and John and I took a walk in the zoo, and we started talking about Italo music, the you know the 80s Italo disco pop,
Yeah.
Yeah.
synth pop, and we just decided let's do because we both had a love for that, and let's do a project. And
No,
then
it
that's
felt
how
like
it
the
got
80s too,
started. And what
coming
should we
back.
call the band? Antiepark, yeah, of course.
Yeah. No, it's beautiful. It takes me back a little bit to the 80s. So that whole feel of it.
It's all done with the 80s equipment too. So it
Yeah.
has that sound very underproduced,
Yeah.
very um clean sounding, not
Yeah.
too much effect on it, just clean synth drum machines.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's beautiful.
It's so much fun to do because that's also my roots. I started
Yeah.
out doing
Well,
synth
like
pop.
you are so good at the Depeche Mode cover stuff. It's
Oh, that's fun. Yeah, and
yeah.
I got to be friends with Alan Wilder too because of that.
Oh man.
Yeah, he's such a great guy. Yeah, but he wrote me. That's
Oh wow.
when I was working on. I did a cover of "Lie to Me,"
Hmm.
and that's one of his favorites. So
Yeah, that's one of my
he
favorites
wrote
too.
to me. I posted it and somehow and I tagged him. And he's
Wow.
one of my. I've mentioned him hundreds of times. He's my
Yeah.
favorite producer
Oh
of
yeah.
all time.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
and he wrote to me, please send that to me. And he's every cover I do, I send it to him. Everything.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's cool.
Every Depeche Mode
Well,
cover I send it to him. And he comes with some criticism and usually it's really good. So that's good, nice.
yeah.
That's good.
Um, so
That's
yeah,
good.
he's a great guy.
If
He
it
just
comes up,
yeah,
tell him I said thank you for Lie to Me, because
yeah.
that
Oh,
song
that's
is
one of my
deep.
favorites.
It's deep in my my DNA from way back
Yeah.
in school.
Yeah. He's moving to Norway now, so with
Yeah.
his wife. Yeah.
Oh,
He sold his big mansion, 60 million pounds.
wow. Wow.
Yeah,
That's that
Depeche Mode's
Depeche
been good
Mode
to him.
money.
And he left in 95, right?
Yep. That's that old Depeche Mode money.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
so it's funny. Also, yeah, I got a letter from Robert Smith when I did the lullaby, a little
Oh, that's a
note,
good one. Yeah.
and that's
Yeah.
his favorite
Yeah.
cover on that tribute album. And I have a letter from also a little handwritten thing from David Gilmour when I did the Learning to Fly cover.
Oh,
So
wow.
Oh.
on my
And
studio wall.
I love going through those albums because you hit on some of my favorite songs of all time. It's so fun.
Yeah, we
I know
get the
that
same.
I missed the Lullaby cover, and I was at my friend Mark was playing a show, Mark Bauer with Benign Affections,
Yeah.
and my friend JQ was DJing before the show, and this version of Lullaby comes on. I reached out to you after I had heard it because I was like, who is this? She's like, it's Klaus, and I'm like, no, and she's like, yeah, and I'm like, oh my God. So I was, at first I was dancing to it, but then I went over, I'm like, who is this? Who's covering this? And she was like, oh, it's Klaus. I'm like, oh my God, man, how did I
Yeah,
miss
it's
this?
old. It's like
Yeah,
96.
no, it totally is. And but yeah, beautiful, beautiful stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it still gets a lot of plays.
Yeah.
That
No, it
cover.
should, because it's freaking incredible. Yeah.
Thank you.
I
Yeah, it's
mean,
done in like 2 hours because Cleopatra wanted to do that one of the tributes. I said, yeah, sure. Then I went to the studio and then 2 hours. But here you go.
yeah, you amaze me, my friend. You amaze me. Yeah.
No, but I know that song, from start to end in my
Yeah.
head. So I didn't even have to listen to it. It's just do it.
Wow. Oh my
Yeah.
God. So speaking of your live shows, like we were at one point,
Mhm.
you have incredible energy. You're always a crowd pleaser, and you're so engaged with your fans.
I will there. I'm up
Honestly,
there for them. I'm up
yeah,
there for them. That's it's
Yeah.
making memories really. Uh, and I'm all about the energy. I just
yeah,
played a club show in with Gothic Treffen in Leipzig.
yeah.
I just had the whole crowd. It was like 1,500 people going nuts.
Yeah.
That's so amazing.
What's
And
your favorite
nobody,
part of doing the live show?
it's when that magic moment when people don't give a shit about who's up on stage and they connect with each other
Yeah.
in the audience and they dance around and they don't even look at me. That's
Mhm.
my favorite part. Then I know I have them. Yeah.
All right.
So
Yeah.
and I'm very conscious about the audience. Okay, I need to work harder here. I need to work harder here. So I give it a little
Yeah.
more.
Yeah,
But I always go 200%.
right on.
Word.
There's 10 people
There,
or 2,000 or more. It
Mhm.
doesn't matter. They all paid for a ticket. You know,
You
yeah.
give
they
it
need
to
to.
give them what
Is
they
there a
need.
particular? Sorry, Levi, go ahead.
No, I said you give them what they need.
Yeah,
Give them
Yeah,
what they want. That's
yeah.
what you gotta
And
do.
then they give back. Then
yeah.
I get what
Yeah.
I need. So
Yeah.
give and take. Yeah.
Exactly. Yes.
Oh, I
So, is
love
there a
doing live
particular
shows.
live performance that stands out for you?
Well, the comeback show in 2009 in front of 15,000 people with big banners, welcome back, Leatherstrip, blah, 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 blah,
Oh,
blah.
wow.
I think that's when Sasha got pissed at me for the first time.
Wow.
Because I was doing an autograph session before that,
Yeah.
and the line was just, and people came with like stacks of their old, because I didn't play live through most of the 90s.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that there were so many people who wanted to say hi, and KMFDM was scheduled after me,
Yeah.
but they canceled it because there was just too many Leatherstrip fans who wanted, so they had to,
Wow.
so they didn't do, there wasn't time for KMFDM to do their session.
Oh, no.
Wow.
So maybe he got pissed at, yeah.
Yeah, probably. Probably knowing him.
Second took my time. Yeah.
Oh, man.
Oh, that was very special because
Yeah.
I thought I was dead and gone, really, life wise. And to have that happen, 15,000 people in daylight, so you can just see everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was scary. I had a hard time not crying, really.
Wow.
I did afterwards because it was just overwhelming.
Yeah. No, I imagine.
And also because it didn't help that Kurt was standing in the pit crying. So I looked down at him and he was crying because he never saw me play live ever. It was his first time. So
Oh, wow.
yeah, so that was amazing.
Yeah, that's great. That's great.
Yeah, but I think every show for me is even the shit shows, we all have those.
Mhm.
Where nothing works, but as soon as you get on stage and people start dancing, it's all forgotten, really.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
It's magic. It's
Yeah.
it's the best. Bands, you need, if you don't play live, do it. It's so rewarding and inspiring, and you go straight into the studio after a few gigs because you get so inspired. You need to do
Yeah.
more. Really, it's so inspiring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And all the love, and I'm getting so much love out there. Nobody gives a shit about me in Denmark, really. There's a handful of people here. And then I come to America and everybody's so loving, and that's what I love about America. People are not afraid to show their appreciation and their love. Europe is a bit more reserved. But
Yeah.
America doesn't have that filter. So
Well, I guess we got something going for us.
you do. I
know.
love America. I really love. Yeah, your politics, not so much. But
Yeah.
the people there, yeah, always hospitable and always friendly, always trying to help.
Yeah.
99.9%. You're always running. You have your heads, crackheads, promoters.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where can people catch you on the road soon, Claus?
I'm playing. Let me see here. There's so many shows booked here. Next show will be San Francisco on next Sunday.
Next Sunday.
Yeah, that's one of the rare ones. That's a double show. It's Leatherstrip and Clute, where I play like an hour and a half Leatherstrip and then 40 minutes Clute-ish.
Those are the best. They really are. That's
so
my 30th anniversary, and I've got on the back of it, it's got the Clute Electro Punks Unite, and it's my Clute Leatherstrip shirt in honor of our guest tonight. Do you have anything you're wanting to promote? New merch or releases or anything?
Not we have coming out the new Amputation Park, Shameless. And it's coming out June 7th. I'm sending out the pre-orders Friday. So it's like a limited edition, 500 copies, CDs, that's it, and then digital.
I better get
I need to do physical versions of all my stuff. Yes.
I know I get asked about your button. The Amputation Park button.
Yeah.
I get asked about that. It's on my
the one with the AC. Yeah. People don't know what it is.
Yeah, they're like,
yeah, that's John.
That one?
Yeah,
I'm like,
I have it. Where is it?
It matches this one,
tattooed right there,
and this one. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. John was supposed to get it. He didn't get it. John.
Yeah. No, I've got Clute, Amter Park. I've got to get a Guston button now. So yeah, you're gonna have to make a
Yeah, we
Guston
need to do one of those. Yeah, we should do like a real metal one, like a punky one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, that'd be
Mhm.
awesome. Yeah.
But anyway, I'm gonna be really busy the rest of the year with gigs. I have November off still, but I'm working on a few shows there too. Busy, especially in America. Yeah.
And we've also
Yeah.
got the pornography album coming out soon.
I'm sure I'll be done with that in a few weeks.
Right on. Is there
Because
anything else
I'm
you'd like-
mentally there. I'm it's in my head right now. It's like when I work on something, I can't wait to get it finished because I want to hear how it ends up to be. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
when
No,
I
you
start
are-
on something like that, it's I want to see it like the Kevin asked me, how the hell can you do a Skinny Puppet cover in less than 24 hours? I know your stuff. I've been listening to it for so many years. I know exactly
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
lyrics and everything. I know. I don't have to think about it. I just do it. And what I try to do is like get the more melodic stuff a little more further out there. And I don't know how Skinny Puppet worked. They fucked it all up. They went in the studio, sounded perfect. Let's fuck it up.
Yeah.
Pop some acid, do something, fuck it up.
Yeah.
They always do that.
Oh,
So I just did it without the acid.
Yeah. No, one of my friends and I used to have this joke we would say about Skinny Puppy. It's like basically you've got some guy in a room hanging upside down and he's duct taped together going, drop the avocado. Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Klaus, I think that we've come to the end of the show.
Yeah.
It's great
The
to
sun
see
is
you.
coming up here, and John's
Yeah.
getting out of bed. I hear.
and the
Yeah.
sun's going
It's-
down.
And the
it's so
cat,
good to
the
see your
cat's
face,
coming
man.
in.
I can't wait.
2 seconds.
Yeah.
Oh,
Sure, no. The cat's fucking wet. Stay down. Wanted to show you, Neil.
Klaus Larsen with wet pussy. What are you talking about, man?
Anything once, right?
Oh my
But
God.
thank you so much for doing this,
It
and
is so
can't wait
good
to see it
your
up.
face.
yeah.
Huh?
Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you so much for doing this. It's been fun.
No
I
problem.
really,
It was
I'm
fun for
looking
me.
forward to my
Remember,
Klaus
Saturday, Seattle,
Saturday, Seattle.
Sin
Yeah.
at Kremwerk. I'll be DJing a cool set. Everybody's
Absolutely.
dancing, and it's a naughty club, so you might see some skin there.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
San
Well,
Francisco.
I will see you Saturday.
San
And
Francisco, the second at DNA Lounge. My first show there.
Oh,
okay.
I
All right.
love that place.
Yeah, never played there before for some reason. I
Oh,
always
haven't?
ended up being booked other places, but not so. I can't wait for that.
Oh, Club D,
Well-
D, D, DBA, D, DBA.
DNA.
DBA.
DNA.
DNA Lounge.
Yeah, DNA Lounge.
Yeah.
They usually book the
Yeah.
industrial shows. Yeah.
Yeah, you have a good show there.
Yeah.
Oh, I will. Sure.
Yeah.
I love
Well,
playing in San Francisco
thank you
too.
for-
So.
Thank you for all you do
Yeah.
for our scene.
Oh,
and
thank
for
you
being
for
here today.
supporting my stuff. Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't have a big
absolutely.
label behind me, so
Yeah.
it's all about word of mouth and you guys to
Yeah.
help.
Yeah,
Well,
Thank you.
no
it's good to
problem.
see you again, Bubba. Love you so much.
Love you too, man.
Ladies
Hi,
and
thank
gentlemen,
you.
you can find Klaus Larsen's amazing work on his Bandcamp page, which will be shared in the comments and on our Facebook page. This episode is, as they all are, dedicated to our dear friend Jason Lupo. I know you would have loved to be here for this one, buddy.
Miss you.
Also, to Kurt Hansen, you are missed every day.
Oh yeah.
The world is a dark place, can be anyway. Please find your light in the art and the music you have around you. If you're feeling bad, you need to talk to somebody, reach out. Don't try to do this by yourself.
Yep.
Also, a special thank you to our producer, Danny, who does so much for us behind the scenes. Thank you for helping us make this show possible. And everybody else loves hugs and belly rubs. Have a
Yeah.
good night.
Good night.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you,
Cheers.
Klaus.
Thank you, guys.